Service Committee to order at 12 o'clock. Roll call, please.
Commissioners Nelson,
Here.
Ockendorfer,
Here.
Miller's absent with notice, Jackson,
Here.
Powell, Commissioner Powell, Markham,
Here.
Gingell, Hoffman, Loops.
Here.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
States of America
and
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wow, that's a lot.
We are on to approval of the agenda. I have a motion by Commissioner Jackson, support by Commissioner Ockendorfer. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the agenda is approved. We move on to public comment. Is there any public wishing to comment?
Currently, your public comment lines are open. There are no online submissions and no callers.
All right, thank you. Public comment is closed.
Hey, Madam Chair, I just wanted to let you know I dialed in. Sorry, for some reason, I thought this meeting was 12:30, which is what they've been. So apparently it's noon today. So apologize for that.
Oh, well, welcome. We're glad to have you. For some reason, I had a notice of cancellation, so I wasn't sure either, but we're all here. It's good. All right, under communications, we have the Sheriff's Office Fiscal Year 2021 Road Vehicle Safety Education Program Grant Application. So this is an item we'll receive and filed. Is there somebody from the Sheriff's Office wanted to address this?
Usually communications are just voiceful,
Okay.
not usually presentations, but.
Madam Chair, I'll move to receive and file communications.
Oh, thank you. Moved by Commissioner Gingell, support by Commissioner Nelson. The second item is the memo regarding the library penal funds policy. Any comments or questions on communications? All in favor to receive and file, say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, we move on to our regular agenda item. The first item is from Health and Human Services, Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Local Community Stabilization Authority funding. I have a motion by Commissioner Nelson, support by Commissioner Gingell. And we have our Health Department officers, Kathy Forsley and Leanne Stafford here. All right, who would like to start?
Hi, I'm going to start. Good morning, everyone. So this funding is funding that we receive by MDHHS or through MDHHS, and it is for our essential local public health services. And basically what this money is it's as the increased demand has come in those programs, they're providing this funding for those increased demands. And so it has to be used specifically for the ELPS funds and nothing else. And so initially we have evaluated, and we have more evaluation to come, but we've looked at 3 positions that we are in immediate need for, especially as the increase for the demand in laboratory testing. As you've seen with COVID, epidemiologists have been a major necessity for us and will continue to be that way. And so we are right now asking for a public health administrator for medical services and 2 epidemiologists. And also Hearing and Vision, a big program, and has always been a big program. But when Workday came on, we had to cut hours that were part of the Hearing and Vision funding. And so we're also using this money to increase the hours for our hearing and vision techs. And one thing just too is we are going to carry forward these funds. We really want to do across the organization evaluation to see where the additional money could be used. So we will be asking for a carry forward for that funding so that we can make sure we're using it in the local public health, essential local public health programs where that demand is needed.
Thank you. Any comments or questions regarding this item? So, yeah, I would agree, lab testing and the others are in a place to focus our money on. All right, we need a roll call then.
On item number 1, Commissioners Nelson,
Yes.
Kokendorfer,
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
I'm going to mention that Commissioner Powell is absent with notice. And Commissioner Markham,
Yes.
Angel,
Yes.
Hoffman,
Yes.
Luce.
Yes.
Motion carried. Madam Chair, you have 7 yeas, 0 nays.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Leanne.
Thank you.
Our next item is water resources, contract extension. I have a motion by Commissioner Nelson, support by Commissioner,
Hoffman.
thank you, Commissioner Hoffman.
Welcome.
All right, and John Bash is here to talk to this item.
Actually, I'm Nancy Bash,
Oh,
here
I
to
need,
talk. Hi. I'm the
Oh.
Business Systems Manager for the Water Resources Commissioner's Office, and I have Mike Kasnick here with me to address any questions that you might have. He is the billing supervisor for the WRC. We're seeking approval to extend a contract with a company called InfoSend, and they provide us with bill printing services, special notice printing, and they also do our mailing services for our water and sewer customers. We're asking for this contract extension because we're in the process of replacing our current billing utility application, which is called Northstar. And Northstar produces a file that InfoSend uses to print out our bills. And we want to avoid the costly duplication of effort to integrate a new bill print service with Northstar, then only to have to repeat that process again with a new Northstar replacement. InfoSend has agreed to an extension without any change in contract terms or conditions and without an increase in fees. Therefore, no budget amendment would be needed. InfoSend has a track record of exceptional customer service, proving often that they are nimble and quick to respond to any requests we have made. We're asking for a 3-year contract extension, and based on their historical financial information that we have to date, we estimate that the new contract's not to exceed amount would be $630,000 or roughly $210,000 annually. And please note that between 70 and 75% of InfoSend fees are for pass-through postage.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have a question from Commissioner Kokendorfer.
Thank you,
Yes.
ma'am. Just a quick question. You know, this is for 3 years. I just wanted to find out when do you plan on implementing the new utility billing system? I mean, is there a reason why this has to be 3 years and not a shorter period?
Well, we had a couple of thought processes. We think that it will be 1.5 years before we implement the new system. One of the things we made sure, though, was that we had a clause in the InfoSend contract so that we could terminate for convenience, so that when we're ready, we can make the move.
Great. Yeah, I would urge you to terminate for convenience as soon as you can, just so we can get this out to bid as quickly as possible.
I agree with you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Sure.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
On item number 2, Commissioner Kokendorfer,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Markham,
Yes.
Angel,
Yes.
Hoffman,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Lubes,
Yes.
Madam Chair, you have 7 yeas, 0 nays. Motion carried.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye, Nancy.
Bye.
Our next item is from the Circuit Court Family Division, Oakland County Child Care Fund Budget 2020 to 2021. I have a motion by Commissioner Nelson and support from Commissioner Jackson. So we have Kevin Offner and John, I'm going to say John, here to speak to this. Cooper Ryder. All right, who would like to talk about this item?
You're muted,
You're
John.
muted.
No. We can't hear you, John.
Sorry about that. That's not a good way to start off, is it? Okay, well, good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is John Cooperrider. I'm the business manager for the Circuit Probate Courts. Also here, but with me by phone is Tom Shire, the director of our local HHS office, Jody Overall, who's the manager of our Children's Village, Tina Lathers, who's the chief of our juvenile casework unit, and Scott Hamilton, who is the manager of our juvenile court operations. I think Lori Strong also might be on here, and Jackie House Evanson, but I'm not sure. We're here to seek your approval to submit the fiscal year 2021 Child Care Fund budget to the state of Michigan. As you can infer by listening to all the individuals present, this is a very collaborative effort between the Circuit Court and the County Executive's Office, Children's Village, and the state and the local MDHHS offices. The Child Care Fund is a special funding arrangement between the county and the state, which was established by statute, where child care costs are shared 50-50 between the state and the county. The funding is to support placement costs of youth as well as program and service costs for youth in both child protective proceedings and delinquency cases. All costs for the youth are under the Circuit Court's jurisdiction. Up until last year, the county always paid 100% of these costs up front, and then the state would reimburse 50%. Then along came the state pays first legislation. With the state pays first for child protective proceeding cases only, the state now pays 100% of the cost of care up front, and the county reimburses them 50%. For delinquency cases, it remained the same. The county still pays 100%, and the state reimburses 50%. For purposes of the plan and budget, costs are broken down into 3 categories for delinquent youth: out-of-home care, in-home care, and facility costs, which is basically our Children's Village operation. For child protective proceeding case costs, they're categorized by foster care supervised, foster care agency placed, institutional, and independent living. This year, the Child Care Fund budget plan reflects gross expenditures of $31.64 million, with a net expenditure of approximately $27.84 million. This is down about 3.4% from last year based on the reduction in placement costs primarily. All of these expenditures are already included in the county executive recommended budget. They're just packaged a little bit differently to deliver to the state based on the state's requirements. Also reflected in the budget is $2.46 million in child protective proceeding expenditures, which represents the county's 50%. We are looking for your approval to submit this to the state, and here, everybody's here to answer any additional questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments?
I have one question. This is Bob Hoffman.
Commissioner Hoffman, yes.
I'm just curious, why do you have to request from us to submit a bill to the state if we're, guided by legislation that says that's what we do?
Not sure that I understand the question.
Well, you said we're here for us to approve you submitting a bill to the state. That's
Submitting,
just kind of
submitting the budget to the state.
oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right, I misunderstood. Sorry.
Yeah, not a bill. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Thank you. Commissioner Ginto?
Yeah, so I think you said this, John. How are you doing?
Good, how are you doing, Mike?
I'm good. I'm good. So this is a continuation program, right? It's not a new program. And you mentioned that the costs or our portion of the costs are contained in the current county executive operating budget. Is that what you said?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right, roll call, please.
On item number 3, Commissioners Jackson,
Yes.
Markham,
Yes.
Angel,
Yes.
Hoffman,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Kokendorfer,
Yes.
Lubes.
Yes.
Madam Chair, you have 7 yeas, there's 0 nays. Motion carried.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. It's nice to see everybody's faces. All right, is there any other business to come before this committee? All right, 12:17, then this committee is adjourned. Thank you very much.